59th episode, devoted to Joseph, son of Jacob. Joseph is an important figure in the Bible's book of Genesis, the Old Testament, the Torah, and also in the Quran. He was born in Haran, grew up near Hebron of today in Canaan, and his jealous brothers sold him into slavery to a caravan of traders in their way to Egypt, where he had a love affair with the wife of his master, thrown in jail. But for interpreting a dream, he became the vizier, the wazir, the highest minister next to the Hyksos Pharaoh, where he brought his family from Canaan to work as shepherd in the domain of the Pharaoh and settled in Egypt. The composition of the story can be dated to the period of the 5th century BC, which is roughly the period to which scholars date the book of Genesis. The historians and archaeologists agree that Joseph's narrative cannot be real. Many scholars identify the story of Joseph as a literary composition in the genre of romance or the novella, as a novella, short story, a historical romance. It is read as a reworking legend of myth, and in particular the motifs of his reburial in Canaan associated with the Egyptian god Osiris. Others refer to the tradition of Joseph's burial at Shechem, which is modern Nablus in the West Bank, and the Israelite historical interpretations woven around a more ancient Canaanite shrine in that area, and they took her over. The reworked legends and folklore were probably inserted into the development textual tradition of the Bible. Most scholars place its composition in a genre that flourished in the Persian period of the exile in Babylon. More about Joseph in the following documentary after the Arabic introduction. Stick around. Thank you. يوسف ابن يعقوب هو شخصية مهمة في الكتاب المقدس أو الجزء اللي هو التوراة وفي القرآن، ويروي سفر التكوين كيف كان يوسف الابن 11 من أبناء يعقوب 12، وبكر زوجته رحيل. أحبه أبوه، ولكن لغيرة إخوته الشديدة منه لأنه ابن رحيل التي أحبها أبوه، باعوا إخوته لتجار قافلة في طريقها لمصر كعبد بسعر بخيس، بدهم يتخلصوا منه، لكنه صار بعد ذلك ذو نفوذا في مصر إلى جانب ملك مصر الهكسوسي ذلك الوقت. تعرفون قصته الشهيرة مع زوجة عزيز الذي كان ضمن حراس فرعون أيام الحكم الهكسوسي ذو الأصل الكنعاني. عندما حلت مجاعة على بلاد كنعان في منطقة الخليل في فلسطين، تعرف يوسف على إخوته في مصر وأخرجهم من السجن، يتهمهم كانوا جواسيس أو شيء، وجلب أبوه يعقوب وإخوته ونسائهم إلى مصر ليعملوا كرعيان عنده في ملك فرعون، لأنه عمل نظرية اقتصادية موجودة بالفيلم الدوكيومنتري. يعتبر المسلمون يوسف نبيا، وخصصت سورة كاملة لسرد قصته، وهي الحالة الوحيدة في القرآن التي تخصص فيها سورة كاملة لسرد قصة نبي، وتوصف هذه السورة بأنها أفضل القصص. تذكر القصة أن يوسف كان أجمل البشر مما جذب امرأة عزيز مصر لإغوائه. هناك اختلاف واحد واضح بين رواية القرآن ورواية الكتاب المقدس، ففي القرآن لم يحدد اسم الملك، بينما ذكر فرعون في الكتاب المقدس، وللقصة نفس الأحداث العامة تقريبا كما سردها الكتاب المقدس، يعني اختلافات بسيطة. لكن مع اختلافات محددة في القرآن طلب الإخوة من يعقوب أن يدع يوسف يذهب معهم، والحفرة التي ألقي فيها يوسف كانت بئرا، واتخذت القافلة المرة يوسف عبدا. ويبكي الأب الأعمى ويظل هكذا إلى أن يعود الأبناء من مصر جالبين معهم ملابس يوسف التي عالجت عينيه بمجرد أن وضعها على وشه. يذكر التفسير أيضا أن زليخة زوجة بوتيفار التي حاولت إغواء يوسف عندما كان خادما في منزلها قد تزوجت يوسف فيما بعد لاحقا عندما على شأنه ليصبح مساعد لحاكم مصر. وقد وصف حبهما بالشديد والعميق في الأدب والقصائد الشرقية. المسيحيين الشرقيين أيضا يحتفلون بذكرى يوسف كواحد من الأجداد والقسيسين والمقدسين، يقولوا عنه يوسف ذو الجمال الآسر، إشارة ليس فقط إلى مظهره الخارجي لكن الأهم في ذلك من جمال حياته وروحه وإيمانه. ويحيون ذكراه يوم أحد الأجداد المقدسين قبل أسبوعين من عيد الميلاد. بس علماء التاريخ والآثار وعدة ومنهم إسرائيليين ويهود يقولوا قصة يوسف قصة رومانسية ضمن الروايات القديمة، وليس هناك آثار ولا حتى ذكر في التاريخ الفرعوني والإغريقي القديم، وإن قبره الحالي في مخيم بلاطة واللي محل احتكاك وصدام بين المستوطنين وأهل نابلس هو قبر كنعاني الأصل قديم، وعليه نقوش كنعانية تثبت ذلك، لكن صعب طبعا تقنع المتدينين به الكلام، ولا زالت قصته تقرأ في المساجد والكنائس والمعابد اليهودية، والكل ماسك في خناق الثاني دينيا وجسديا. شكرا على استماعكم.
Joseph is a special person in the Bible and Quran, for he connects the story of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Canaan to Moses in Egypt, in addition to his contributions to the foundations of religion. The book of Genesis and the Quran told us that Joseph was the 11th of Jacob's 12 sons and Rachel's firstborn, and told us how Joseph was sold into slavery by his jealous brothers and rose to become the second most powerful man in Egypt next to the Hyksos Pharaoh. The man in the caravan who bought Joseph from his brothers was called Malik, according to the Quran. The slave master who bought him in Egypt was called Potiphar in the Bible and Aziz in the Quran. His wife was called the wife by the Bible and Silika according to Quran commentators. The man was working as a bodyguard for the Hyksos Pharaoh. Joseph soon became the new young and physically attractive homeboy. He did not go unnoticed by Aziz's wife, who was a social and sensual lady. Yusuf, according to the story, had a strong desire for his temptress, the dangerous and seductive housewife. A relationship had developed quickly between the two, as both the Bible and the Quran confirmed. In one episode, Lady Zalika had invited her mature women friends to see her new homeboy. They were excited to see the young man, and one of the ladies was taken by his charm and noticing that she cut herself by the knife in her hand while peeling a fruit. One woman asked Lady Salika, "And what if he refuses to do what you want?" The wife replied, "He's my slave and will do as I say, or I'll send him to the dungeon." In another episode, Lady Salika asked Joseph to follow her to her bedroom. They conversed over relationships and religions. Joseph told her that he was afraid to love his stepmother Balha, who was caught making it with his brother Reuben. He loved his aunt Leah and the way she was dressed, and once she accused him of stealing her belt. Moreover, the love of his father to him landed him in slavery. The alluring wife tried to persuade him to forget the past and live the moment. Joseph sat on the side of her bed, listening to her seductive, mature approach. She softly touched him and slowly took his clothes off. But suddenly, the front door was opened, and the bodyguard husband appeared at the door. Joseph peeled himself off the hands of his lady, running out of the bedroom, while leaving his shirt in the wife's hands. When she saw her husband Aziz, she cried, pretending that Joseph tried to rape her. She repeated the story through her tears. Aziz became angry at Joseph, who neither denied nor confirmed the accusation. He sent him to the dungeon guarded by his servants, who probably were jealous of Joseph also. Joseph was thrown in jail, and his feet hurt in irons, according to the Bible. The imprisonment of Joseph lasted for 13 long years. He, however, adjusted to the life in an Egyptian jail, claiming his innocence. But most prisoners claim innocence. He kept himself intrigued, interpreting the dreams of other prisoners. His life took a turn when he met in jail two prisoners. One was a baker and the second was a butler for the Hyksos, Pharaoh of Egypt. Both were accused of poisoning the Pharaoh's food. Joseph learned that they were in jail awaiting an investigation to decide their fate. The two men had nightmares, worried about their fate. Joseph volunteered to explain their dreams and comfort them. He told the butler that he would be released soon and be restored to his old job, while the fate of the baker was clouded. Sure enough, on the Hyksos Pharaoh's birthday, the butler was restored to his old job and the baker was convicted. 2 years had passed, and one day a guard of the Pharaoh appeared at the jail to ask for Joseph. The Pharaoh needed someone to interpret his dream. He was troubled with his recurring dream about 7 fat cows that were swallowed up by 7 lean cows. The butler told his Pharaoh about his acquaintance of a prisoner called Joseph, the son of Jacob, 2 years ago, who excelled in dream interpretations. The Pharaoh sent for Joseph and related his dreams to him. Joseph told the Pharaoh that there would be 7 years of great plenty in the land, followed by 7 years of famine. He also suggested storing grain to avoid the famine. Joseph had neither previous economic educations nor a track record and experience in economics, except he had economic sense to know about the economic cycle that repeats itself every 5 to 7 years. The Hyksos Pharaoh ordered the release of Joseph for his rendered services. The Pharaoh, no doubt, knew the story of Joseph, for he was the homeboy of his bodyguard Aziz and his wife, Lady Salika. Joseph was 30 years old, and he landed an important job in the court of the Hyksos king.
بالقمر انشافت يا هلا بكل شراف وعالنار القهوة بدلالي